Okay. So where did we stop the other day? Okay. Keep your videos on. Yes. Where did we stop the other day? Yes, no problem. So give me a recap. Where did we stop the other day? Very good. So we started with integration, I guess. Am I right? What is integration? Can anyone give me some basic idea of integration? Very good. It's a reverse process of integration. We can say that. What else? What else can we infer from integration? Say something. So only when, okay, I'll just ask a question. I can take anyone from the class. So keep your video on, everyone. Ria, the question is to you. Have you ever helped your mother in arranging the grocery items? Okay. So let's imagine your mother has bought a pack full of sugar. Okay. You cut the pack of the sugar and start to pour it in jar. Now the jar is full. You have little bit of sugar left in the pack. What would you do now? At the while put a Yes, of course, that's what we do. Yes, Ria. Oh, you'll close the packet with a rubber band. You don't try that to put it in the jar. Okay. Any other solution? Anyone? Yes, Mritula. What will be your solution? Rohit, நீங்க என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? You are trying to put the sugar in a jar and you have a little bit of sugar still left in the pack. We all do something. What would you do? You will use the remaining sugar first. Yes, that's a solution. Okay. I've been teaching for 16 years. This is my 17th year. This is the first time I am listening all out of the box thinking answers. Generally, what do we do when we try to put the sugar in a jar and we have a little bit of sugar extra left in the pack? We would be shaking the jar. So the moment when you start to shake the jar, you will get more space. Something like that. Our brains should be shaped with right set of questions. So you should always look for questions that shake your mind instead of the questions that comfort your mind. So the questions which shake your mind, they will give you more space. So the shaking process enables more space for new thing to come in. Something similar to that. The moment when your brain is shaken, with some logic question, then naturally your brain will develop new space for new ideas and new things to come in. Only with the new ideas and new things, new level problems can be solved. Every next level, every new level of your life always demands a newer version of you. Just remember this. Okay? Fine. So now let's talk about this integration. So like last time, let's take integral calculus. How do I see the process of integral calculus? Fine, sir. It took long time for me. When I was doing this course from the Harvard, the professor asked me, what is your opinion? What's the way you observe the calculus? So here, you go and ask any mathematics teacher, what is calculus? The immediate answer would be area under the curve. Area under the curve is called as integral calculus. What is integration? They simply say it is area under the curve. Just like the way we started to learn our differential calculus as what, sir? Finding the slope. The change in y divided by change in x. So the moment when the change in the x was very small, as the limit of change in x is very small, then what happens, sir? The delta x turned out to be dx. So your normal algebra will not work. You are expected to use this dx, calculus. Am I right? Yes? D stands for variation, function. The delta means change. The delta's first term, d. Just take it here. In physics, we have some symbols. See, for example, if anything is written within this, something is written like that, that means average power. Got it? Something is written like this. This is also average power. Got it? There are some symbols, they try to say something. And if any quantity, you take a quantity called force, and if you have this symbol before that, that means this quantity is changing. Okay? Suppose if you have delta F, this means difference in that quantity. That is previously and presently, you observe this quantity. The difference between the previous and current observation is given as delta F. So generally you might have seen delta V. Delta V is nothing but potential difference you call. Am I right? Yes. These are the symbols just we use. So now let's get into the topic here. The area under the curve. So here we have some x and y curve, x and y graph here. We found the slope of this graph. The slope of the graph gave us the differentiation, derivatives. Am I right? What are the two mathematical operations that are allowed, possible in any graph system? One is the division, y divided by x. The second operation is y multiplied by x. So when you multiply two sides of a rectangular coordinate system, this coordinate system is also called as rectangular coordinate system. So when you multiply a rectangular coordinate system and you have two sides and you are multiplying two sides, what will you get? You multiply two sides, you get area. That's why integration is also called as area under the curve. Got it? And why did they use area under curve? They could have told area under the line. Am I right? But they are using a specific term, area under curve. Day before yesterday, I gave you a homework to find out the equations for the specific shapes, at least bare minimum. Did anyone find what is the value of, what is the formula for parabola? Did you find? You found? Yes. What's the equation for parabola? Wait a minute. Parabola. Equation of parabola. Y equals A into that yes, ax square plus bx plus c. Fine. Okay. Always remember, the parabolas, they have the squared terms or anything that is more than order 1. Anything that is more than order 1. See, best example. Here is a formula. What, children? You all know this formula. The force of attraction between any two masses in the world is given by G mass 1 mass 2 divided by r squared. I hope you remember this formula from grade 9. What do we call this formula? Newton's law of gravitation. So according to this formula, the force between any two masses is equal to the product of, what's this? What do you call this one? This is called gravitational, universal gravitational constant. This is a constant. And according to Newton, the two masses m1 and m2 are also constant as long as the body moves with limited speed, not at a very high speed. When the body moves with very limited speed, the mass is also considered to be constant. So 1, 2, 3 quantities on the right hand side are constants. Am I right? So if you take, can I write F is equal to, I put all these things as constants, K into 1 by r square. Only difference is from point to point. Here is the earth and here is another object. It can be anything. So this is the bigger mass, this is the smaller mass. So depending on the position, this is distance 1, this is distance 2. So at distance 1 and at distance 2, this mass is experiencing different force. That means what? The force between the two bodies, they differ with respect to distance. Am I right? If the distance increases, force will decrease. If the distance decreases, force will increase. But here it is written as r squared. So I can say here only one quantity that is varying is distance. So can I write this as F is proportional to 1 by r squared? Generally what do? We take that any quantity V is proportional to I. In order to break the proportionality symbol, we bring in V is equal to I times R. We bring in the R, this resistance. We bring in this resistance just as what's a proportionality constant. That's how in lower class they might have taught. But what I'm trying to say, when you see an equation like this, in this equation, If this is going to be constant, can I write this as V is proportional to I? Something like that. That's what I'm doing here. I'm doing the reverse process. Got it? And watch this. Suppose if I try to plot this as a graph. Suppose if I have to plot this as a graph. What are the graph possibilities that I can do? On the y-axis, I have force. And on the x-axis, I have, listen, the distance. Not the distance squared. Got it? இப்போ கவனிங்க, just கவனிங்க இதை. Right hand side and left hand side, we have what's a some quantity here. Am I right? So if you just take, let's bring it here. F is equal to some constant divided by r square. So I am going to bring this quantity to the opposite side. F divided by 1 by r square is equal to some constant k. If I bring this to the other side, this is what I'm going to get. Am I right? So if I try to find the slope, what is this? Nothing but it is change in y quantity divided by change in x quantity. Am I right? Y by x. That is what it is. Am I right? It's a very interesting thing. So here, when the distance increases, the force has to decrease. And the way how it decreases is like a curvature. Suppose if I try to plot the same graph as this, force versus r squared. This time also I will show the force will decrease when the distance increases, but this time I will show like this. பாருங்க, இந்த குவான்டிட்டி ஸ்கொயர்ல இருக்கும்போது ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரைட் லைனா இருக்கு, ஏன்னா உங்களுடைய ஸ்லோப் கான்ஸ்டன்ட்டா இருக்கும் நீங்க எந்த இடத்துல எடுத்தாலும். இப்போ நீங்க இதை இங்க கொண்டு வாங்க, change in f divided by change in the y, but the y quantity is changing, the variation is in the opposite direction. That is, quantity on the x-axis increases, quantity on the y-axis is decreasing. So 1 by r squared should be equal to constant. Slope is constant. கரெக்டா? இதுவே நீங்க r ஸ்கொயருக்கு பதிலா r ன்னு எடுத்தீங்கன்னா it's a curvature. It's a non-linear drop. That means from point to point, this force will vary. The value will vary. Got it? So இப்படி தான் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும், ஒரு கிராஃப் வச்சு ஈக்குவேஷன் பார்க்க பழகணும், இல்லை ஈக்குவேஷன் வச்சு கிராஃப் பார்த்துக்க பழகணும். ஓகே, did you understand so far? Let's try. Good evening. Go, sit. Yes. So here is a question. I want you children to observe this question very carefully and try to answer. Can you all see the question clearly? The last two questions, these are previous year NEET exam questions. Can you identify? Sirish, Ansara, Asika, keep your videos on. கண்டுபிடிச்சிங்களா? அட்லீஸ்ட் யோசிக்கவாவது செஞ்சீங்களா என்னென்ன? ஓகே சாதனா, யூ டெல் மீ. First of all, congratulations for that excellent score. Yes, just now I received your results. Congratulations. It is something very good. Okay. Yes. Tell me. Let's take the first equation. What is your opinion? Yes. Okay. By nature of the graph, what are they asking you? They are asking you whether the graph will be a straight line, a curvature. If it is a curvature, what kind of curvature will that be? Now you see the first equation, a is equal to, in a, y is equal to 2x squared. So now I am just going to plot a graph between quantity on the y and quantity on the x. Fine. So y by x square is equal to 2. So y by x square is constant. So suppose if, come again? Yes, suppose y by x squared. If you take the square here, then it's a straight line. They are directly proportional. Can I say as a result? Can I write y is proportional to x squared? That means what? When the x square value increases, y value will also increase. So can I write like this? So when I make x is equal to 0, then y will also become 0. Am I right? Am I right? So in this case, the line can be what? Straight. Suppose if I draw a graph y versus x, not the x square. So how should I indicate the variation? Of course, y is directly proportional to x. A curvature like this. இதுவும் increase தான் ஆகுது, இதுவும் increase தான் ஆகுது. Come again? ஏன்னா இங்க squared, இங்க squared. ஒரு இடத்துலையும் எக்ஸ்போனென்ஷியலாக ஜாஸ்தி ஆகும். புரியுதா உங்களுக்கு? ஸ்டெப் பை ஸ்டெப்பாக ஆகாது. இங்கே 2 ஆச்சுன்னா அடுத்ததுல 4, அடுத்ததுல 16. காட் இட்? ஜென்ரலாக கால்குலேட் பண்ணுறதா இருந்தால் என்ன பண்ணியிருப்பேன்? 2, 4, 6, 8ன்னு போயிருப்பீங்க. ஆனால் இங்கே போகும்போது என்ன ஆகும்? இது 2, 4, 16 and 16 squared. Got it? Noted? இது என்ன ஷேப்? இது இப்போ நான் இங்கே வரைஞ்சிருக்கேன் இல்லையா? இது என்ன ஷேப்? Observe this. இது என்ன ஷேப்? இது we call this as parabola. We call this as what? Parabola. Now you can go back and check the equation. Equation of a parabola: y is equal to a x square plus b x plus c. In this they have b is equal to 0, c is equal to 0. Only this is taken. பார்க்கிறதுக்கு அதே மாதிரி இருக்கா? So highest order is 2 parabola. இதுவே y is equal to ax இருந்ததா என்ன ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்? இது straight line. Very good. Got it? So can we go and check the answer? Okay, what about this? This one? Parabola. Of course it is parabola. Then what else do you observe? It is parabola. True. Second one is parabola. What else do you observe? இந்த x வேல்யூவை நீங்க 0 பண்ணா கூட, இந்த x வேல்யூவை நீங்க 0 பண்ணா கூட y will survive with what? Plus 6. So the graph should look like something like this. Correct? It should have a non-zero origin. So ஒரு கிராஃபை பார்க்கும்போது நமக்கு சொல்ல தெரியும். Yes. Which one? Parabola with origin at 0. Yes, yes, tell me. That is for x squared I have drawn. Sorry. No, watch this. For the given equations below, tell the nature of the graphs. Graphs must be drawn only between quantity on the y and quantity on the x. Here I have taken a special condition, x squared, just to make you understand. Okay? If you are drawing a plot between the y and the x squared, it could be a straight line. But generally, how should I draw a graph? I should always draw a graph between x and y. Okay? உங்களை கிராஃப் போடுங்கன்னு சொன்னாவே நீங்க x and y க்கு தான் போடணும். புரிஞ்சுதா? அப்புறம் நீங்க ஏன் சார் x ஸ்கொயருக்கு போட்டீங்க? உங்களுக்கு காட்டுறதுக்காக போட்டேன். இது x ஸ்கொயர்ல போட்டா ஸ்ட்ரைட் லைன் வரணும், x-க்கு போட்டா கர்வேச்சரா வரணும். ஏன்? வேரியபிளோடைய பவர் 2. வேரியபிளோட பவர் என்னவா இருக்கு? 2. Got it? Shall we try something? So for the first one, the graph should look something like this. Y quantity and x quantity. It should start from 0 and increase. And for the B, y quantity, x quantity, it should increase, and this value should be 6. That is, it has a non-zero origin. Let's go here and cross-verify our answer. Watch this. So the first graph has the parabola passing through the origin. Second graph, parabola not passing through the origin. Got it? இந்த ஷேப்ல நான் உங்களுக்கு சொல்லியே தரல, இதெல்லாம் நான் உங்களுக்கு கேட்கல. Rectangular hyperbola. Fine, there are various shapes. Got it? In lower class, whatever you have learned as a graph, right? It's just a step one. There are plenty of other things that can be done. Fine. And they are asking you to plot straight lines corresponding to this. Can we try for this? Shall we? Yes. Not able to catch up? Yes, of course. This is also a part of it. It's okay. Observe. So this is y, this is minus y. This is minus x, this is x. Okay? Y is equal to 2x. So let's take A, y is equal to 2x. Therefore, y by x should be equal to 2. That means the slope of the first graph A should be equal to 2. The slope should be equal to 2, sir. So y by x should be equal to 2. So this is how you have to draw. ரெண்டாவது பாருங்க, when the x becomes 0, y should also become 0. If you put x is equal to 0, what's the value of y? 0. So it should start from 0. Correct? What's the second equation? Your slope should be negative. So y needs to be positive and x needs to be negative. Will you try? I'll show the third one. I'll draw the third one for you. Shall we try the third one? Let's take the C. What's the formula? Y is equal to 4x plus 2. இதை பார்த்த உடனே எனக்கு என்ன தோணணும்? Children, listen. All eyes on board. Anshara, புரியுதா உங்களுக்கு? Can you follow? Okay. இதில் பாருங்க, children, I want you to compare and learn. Compare the equation A and equation C. What's the one major difference we find in this? That means y has a possibility of becoming 0 in A, and it is impossible for y to become 0 as long as the x value is on the positive side. Am I right? Suppose if I take x is equal to minus 1 by 2, then it is possible. If the x is equal to minus 1 by 2, then y can become 0. Otherwise, y cannot be 0. Suppose if I make x is equal to 0 in the A, in the equation A, then the y will also become 0. If I make the x is equal to 0, but in the equation C, y will have some positive number. Am I right? So, if I try to plot a graph for this, so where should I start the graph from? 2. Very good. Very good. Away from the origin, it should start from 2. So C, y is equal to 4x plus 2. So the graph should look something like this. Y, x, 0. It has started from 2. And what should be the slope, sir? What should be the slope? 4 coefficient. Slope should be 4. Got it? Similarly, can you tell me what is with the fourth one? Slope should be 6 and intercept should be minus 4. So where will you start the graph? Where will you start the graph? Yes, sir. Watch this. Got it? What do you mean by slope? Children, I'll teach you a shortcut here. Okay? What do you mean by slope? In lower class you must have learned what is slope? Slope of a graph, which is equal to change in y value divided by change in x value for a straight line. Children, all eyes on board. Look at the board. Slope now என்ன y value divided by x value. ஆமாவா இல்லையா? இப்போ நான் என்ன பண்றேன்? I am trying to plot a graph. So let's take voltage versus current graph, which you studied in your grade 10. Voltage versus current. Ohm's law graph எடுத்துக்கலாம். Okay? So in the graph la I have a straight line. Okay, so let's mark this point as initial point. Let's call this as initial. Let's call this as initial. Let's call this as final. There are 2 points here, initial point and final point. Okay, now I am splitting the initial and final points into 2. How? This is x initial, also this is y initial. Sorry. Okay, something similar to that. I mark here, this is x final and this is y final. Am I right? X final and y final. Correct? Is that right? So this height is called as change in y. Is that right? And this side is called as, this length is called as change in x. Correct? Is that right? ஆமாவா இல்லையா? இப்போ ஸ்லோப்னா என்ன? Change in y divided by change in x. Suppose if you consider this as a triangle, you consider this as a triangle, with an angular difference theta here, then what is delta y by delta x? Opposite by adjacent. What is it then? Tan theta. So sometime, what do they say? They ask you to calculate the slope, or sometimes they straight away say find the tan theta. அப்போ tan theta னா நம்ம என்னதான் புரிஞ்சுக்கணும்? They are asking for slope. In other words, the slope is also giving us what, sir? Differential. The other name of slope is also what, sir? Differential, derivative. Am I right? Appo derivative is connected to slope. Slope is connected to tan theta. So tan theta nu ketalum, slope nu ketalum, derivative nu ketalum, நம்ம செய்ய வேண்டிய வேலை ஒண்ணுதான். Words may vary, but the process should remain the same. Noted? These are the basic mathematical tricks that you children need to know. Now I hope you remember, what do we call this distance? What do we call this distance? Rohit? What do you call this distance? No. We have a specific name for that. Very good, sir. Negative x intercept. What do we call this distance? This distance? Negative y intercept. This is negative x intercept. That is negative y intercept. What do you call this one? This one? Positive y intercept. That's good. Yes. So can we try this one by one? Can you do the derivatives? Evaluate the first quantity, sir. Can we integrate it? I give you 2 minutes to integrate the first one. A integral over x to the power 3 dot dx. It is from 1 to 2. What kind of integration is this? Definite integration, because you have a limit. Completed? What's the answer? Yes, do. Yes, got the answer? Let's see how to integrate it. It looks like x to the power n dot dx. So integral of 1 to 2 x to the power 3 dot dx is equal to, come on sir, x to the power n plus 1, that is x to the power 4 divided by n plus 1, that is once again 4. Upper limit is 2, lower limit is 1. Stage 1 is over. What is stage 2? Yes sir, please. Okay, okay, so let me keep this as 4, 1 by 4 outside. Can I take 2 to the power 4 minus 1 to the power 4? Correct? Answer all sir? Here it is going to be 2 to the power 4 is 16 minus 1. So altogether it is going to be 16. Why to write 16 minus 1? Straight away we can write 15. 15 by 4. So this is the value of integral over x to the power 3 dot dx with a limit of 1 to 2. Suppose in this question, if I alter the value, this value becomes minus 1. My lower limit is changed, minus 1 sir. How will you alter the answer? Okay. That's it sir. Got it? What if I give the value, lower limit is 0, 4, 4, answer should be 4, correct. So can we try the second one? And in the second one, we have integral over, m is a constant, leave it, v dot dv from u to v. Yes sir. Use the formula. Integral of u to v m dot v dot dv should be equal to, m is a constant, so it stays outside. Then integral of u to v dot dv, which is equal to m into v square divided by, come on, 2. Upper limit is v, lower limit is u, which is equal to m into, otherwise m by 2 you can check, v square minus u square. Have you got it? Yes? No, I am telling you here m is constant. I am giving you the data. M is constant. Yes. Yes, someone is raising. Rohit. I have given you the data. M is constant. Suppose if that information is not specified, then you are not supposed to take. Yes. What about the third one? Can I write x to the power minus 1? If I do that, then answer will become 0. So you are not supposed to do that. You have another formula. What is it? 1 by x is equal to integral of 1 by x is log x. C integral of, then what? Integral of from what to what? 3 to 4. 1 by x dot dx. Remember, for this construction, we have a formula. I'll write the formula here. Take it. Integral of 1 by x dot dx is equal to natural log of x. Upper limit, lower limit. What? Oh, you don't know log. In 10th you did not learn log. Okay. Okay. Logarithm is another mathematical tool. Fine, where we convert power into coefficient and coefficient into power. You will learn it in your chemistry. When you learn your chemistry, the first thing that they will teach is logarithm. Okay? Come again, sir? No, they will teach. Chemistry people cannot survive without logarithm. Even your chemistry textbook should have log table at the end. Oh, class 10 it is deleted. Okay. I did not know that. Earlier it was there. Looks like for your batch it is deleted. Fine. This is called as natural log. I'll teach a logarithm classes separately. One day we will discuss that. Okay? That's a big topic. Okay, finally, can we write the d? This is easy. X to the power 1 by 2. Just anything root of anything is written as what? The quantity to the power 1 by 2. So now you have the power 1 by 2. N is equal to 1 by 2. Integral over 4 to 9 root of x dot dx, which is equal to integral over 4 to 9 x to the power 1 by 2 dot dx, which is equal to x to the power 1 by 2 plus 1, that is 3 by 2 by 3 by 2. Upper limit is 9, lower limit is 4, which is equal to Let me take this one here. 2 by 3 into 9 to the power 3 by 2 minus 4 to the power 3 by 2. Correct? So how would you write it? Come again? 5 power 3 by 2? No. Powers should not be taken. Okay? 2 square minus 3 square cannot be written as minus 1 square. Yes? Can we cancel the 4 and 2? No. No. How to handle the power? Watch. 2 by 3 into, here, can I write this as 9 cube minus 4 cube whole root. Otherwise, you can take it simply 1 by 1. So here it is, root and root. Now it's very easy for you. 9 cube and 2 cube. How much is that? You can write 2 by 3 into, come on, how much is 9 cube? Work it out. Yes. Yeah, hello. Good evening. Tell me, Ashok. Can I call you by 9 o'clock? சொல்லுங்க. குட் ஈவினிங். நான் கிளாஸில் இருக்கேன். இப்போ கிளாஸில் இருக்கேன். நான் அப்புறம் கூப்பிடவா? Okay. Found the answer? How much should be the 9 to the power 3? Yes, 729. So root over 729 minus root over 4 to the power 3. How much should be the 4 to the power 3? Very good, 64. Okay. Now you can go on how to find the answer. Just try. Yes. You tell me, sir. Is it working out? Otherwise, you can use the shortcut I gave. You remember the shortcut I taught? But I want you to think little bit. You will get it very easily. Gavani. 729, does it have any perfect root? Yes, Hasika nods at the head, nods her head. Sirish? 27, sir. Very good. So here we go. 2 by 3 into 27 minus, how much this should be? Easy answer, da. Solidungada. Good. So 2 by 3. Yes, sir. Come on. 27. 8. Yes. 19. All right. You have the numbers, sir. Here after it is child's play. Got it? Okay. So sin theta panna cos theta panna minus sin theta, and it goes on. Got some basics? Okay. Now I'll teach you something very interesting. So here's a big list of formula. At the end, remind me, I'll show this list. You can copy them down. Finally, we will see the angle, and today we will culminate this basic. I think 8 sessions are over, right? Sadhana, this is our 8th session. Eight sessions are over, I guess. As per my plan, yes. Let's take this. There's a concept called as maxima and minima. The other day I told you to remind me about this. Thanks for reminding me. You reminded really well. Yes. All right, sir. Maxima and minima of a function. கொஞ்சம் கவனிங்க. Stop writing, everybody. Listen to me now. Drop your pens and listen to me. Now I am going to write an equation for it. So the equation says displacement at any given time. Displacement is going to vary. A car is moving forward. A car started from Pallikarnai and it goes towards Tambaram, then Chengalpet, then to Dindivanam, Tiruchi, and it goes on. A car is going. As the time is progressing, displacement is continuously changing, increasing. Okay? Sometimes the same car start from Pallikarnai, go to Medavakam, again come back to Pallikarnai. It can go to Velacheri, come back to Pallikarnai, goes up and down like a share auto. Imagine that. Okay? In these cases, displacements are continuously changing. In the first case, where car started from Pallikarnai and goes to Trichy, displacement continues to increase. It doesn't decrease because the car is not coming back. But in the second example, the car goes to Medavakam, again comes back. So the value is what's a decreasing also. Also, it crosses the Pallikarnai and goes to what? Velacheri. That means displacement is becoming negative also. So in one case, displacement continues. In the second case, the displacement is increasing, decreasing and becoming zero. Am I right? So there is a possibility for us to find out at what given condition this displacement could be maximum and this displacement could be minimum. What is the minimum possible value and what is the maximum possible value of this displacement? We can find that out if you know a trick. That is, I am going to tell you the displacement of a particular body is given by this equation. X is equal to 3t squared plus 2t plus 6. If someone gives you this, they are giving you this information. Got it? They are giving this information and they are asking you, the displacement is given by this. What do you mean by this? The moment when I change the quantity, the value of the t, in the t oda spot la different time ana substitute panna, at 4th second what will be the displacement, at 8th second what will be the displacement, something like that. Let's take that at 3 seconds what will be the displacement. Can we try? Displacement at 3 seconds. What will be the answer? 3 into 3 squared plus 2 into 3 plus 6. Clear? Okay? Which is equal to, come on, 3 into 9 plus 6 plus 6. How much is the answer? 27. Yes. Plus 12. 39 meter will be the displacement at 3rd second. Correct? So now I know displacement of the body at 3rd second. Can I calculate what is the velocity of the body at 3rd second? Now I know the displacement at 3rd second. Can we calculate velocity at 3rd second? Okay. No, that is average. Average. What you are doing is average. I am asking particularly at 3rd second, what is the velocity? Are you working? What is the velocity at 3rd second? I know velocity is equal to d by dt of the displacement. So which is equal to d by dt of, கவனிங்க, நீங்க அது உங்களுக்கு தெரியாது, இது நீங்க மிஸ் பண்ணிட்டீங்க. ஓகே, 3t squared plus 2t plus 6 which is equal to, come on sir, guide me. Can we take it inside? d by dt of 3t squared plus d by dt of 2t plus d by dt of 6. Yes sir, please wait. Can? Very good sir, very good. என்ன ஃபார்முலா யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்கோம் நம்ம? What formula? Formula. Tell me the formula. From formula. From the formula, d by dx of x power n is equal to. Last time I taught x power n integration. Now I am teaching what? X power n differentiation. So d by dx of x to the power n is equal to n into x power n minus 1 or plus 1? Minus 1. Very good. So this is the formula. So can we write the first step here? What is this? The 3 stands outside because 3 is the coefficient. D by dt of t squared plus 2 is constant, stands outside. D by dt of t plus, if the 6 stands outside, nothing is there, so 0. Differentiation of constants is 0. Now you tell me, what's the answer? 3 into, come on, 2 into t. Correct? Next, 2 into 1 into t to the power 0 plus 0. Together it is 60 plus 2. That is going to be my velocity equation, meter per second. Now can I write what's the velocity at 3 seconds? Very good. It should be 20 meter per second. Because differentiation of a constant is 0. Yes. 1 minute. One minute. You are actually trying to find what is the change in the given quantity. A constant doesn't change. So change in the given quantity is 0. That's what you are writing. Yes. Yes. Sorry, sir. Ask me. I am giving you. It is given in the question. Not necessarily. Let's see that. So far, you are trying to calculate only the differentiation. The first order derivative. Now, you may find out the second order derivative also. See, for example, suppose if I ask, what is the acceleration at 2 seconds or at 3 seconds? You can find out the acceleration at 3 seconds. Can you tell me what's the acceleration at 3 seconds? Hey. What's the formula for acceleration? Very good. Acceleration is equal to dv by dt, which is equal to d by dt of, come on, what's the v formula? 60 plus 2, which is equal to d by dt of 60 plus d by dt of 2, which is equal to 6 into d by dt of t plus 0, which is equal to 6 meter per second square. So acceleration is a constant, no matter whether it is 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, whatever the value may be. So what do we understand from these equations is, if I substitute a different value for this time, I will get different value of velocity. If I substitute different value for this time, I'll get a different value for this displacement. Is it possible for me to find out what is the maximum possible displacement this quantity can have, this equation can have? Yes, there is a way. And note down the way. What should you do to find the maxima or the minima? Note down, children. To find the maxima or minima of a continuously changing function. To find the maxima or minima of a continuously changing function, what should you do? First, you have to differentiate the given quantity for 2 times. That is first order derivative and also second order derivative should be found. Okay? You have to differentiate the given quantity for 2 times. That is first order, also second order should be calculated. Okay? Then you have to equate first order derivative to 0. In the step 2, you have to equate first order derivative to 0. If you do that, you will get the possible value. We will see the example now. We will see an example now. You will get a possible value. Noted? Yes. Suppose if the possible value is positive, then the quantity you are going to find is minimum. If the possible value is negative, then the quantity you are going to find is maximum. Okay? See this? Here we have written the process. Padinge? To find the maximum and minimum value of varying physical quantities, what are the 5 steps to be followed? First of all, find the given question is based on the maxima or minima. Of course, I am asking you to find the maximum and minimum. Then identify the quantity to be maximized or minimized. If I ask you, find the maximum time, find the maximum velocity, find the maximum displacement, which quantity to be maximized? Identify that quantity. Then find the variable of the quantity. So which quantity is varying? So sir, in this equation where we learned, watch this, which is the variable? Time is the variable. Which quantity is given? Displacement is given. Displacement is given. Got it? Suppose if I ask, calculate the maximum velocity, then which quantity to be maximized? Velocity is the quantity to be maximized. Fine? Yes. So shall we try this? Watch this. A particle moves along a straight line. According to the law, S is equal to 2t minus 3t squared. So stop now and think. What is the variable in this equation? Time. Very good. What quantity is given to you? Displacement. Very good. And the question is asking, where is the displacement of the particle and the time is t. What will be the maximum positive displacement? So which quantity to be maximized? Displacement is the quantity to be maximized. Which quantity to be maximized? Displacement is the quantity to be maximized. So first I identified. So the quantity to be maximized is S. Variable given to me is T. And the relation is, it is given already in the equation. What's the first step, sir? We have to differentiate it for 2 times. Do it. Differentiate it for 2 times. Can you do it side by side? What is ds by dt? ds by dt should be equal to d by dt of, come on, 2t minus 3t squared, which is equal to 2 minus 60. This is first order derivative, ds by dt. What is the second order derivative? D square s by dt square is equal to 6. Straight away I wrote the answer. Do you know how to bring it? Do it with all the steps. D by dt of 2 minus 60 is equal to d by dt of 2 minus d by dt of minus 60, which is equal to 0. Minus 6 into 1, which is equal to minus 6. So the second order derivative is negative here. Second order derivative is negative. Correct? Sir, have we got it? So as you can see, the d square s by dt square is negative. This confirms the maximum value. So how to find? So the condition for maximum is first order derivative should be made 0. What's the first order derivative formula that we have calculated? Yes, tell me. ds by dt should be equal to 0, which is 2 minus 60 is equal to 0. Therefore, minus 60 is equal to minus 2. So t is equal to 2 by 6, which is equal to 1 by 3. So what can I say is, when time is equal to 1 by 3 seconds, when time is equal to 1 by 3 seconds, then the body will have its maximum displacement. Then the body will have its maximum displacement. Correct? How much will that be? How much will be the maximum displacement? I already have the formula. X is equal to, what's the formula that we have? 2t minus 3t squared, yeah? 2t minus 3t squared. So in this equation, I substitute the t value is equal to, when t is equal to when time is equal to 1 by 3 seconds, displacement is maximum. When time is equal to 1 by 3 seconds, displacement is maximum. Yeah. So the displacement maximum is equal to எவ்வளோ சார் 2 into 1 by 3 minus 3 into 1 by 3 squared. Correct? So which is equal to 2 into 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3 again, which is equal to, let me take the 1 by 3 common, 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1 by 3. The displacement is going to be 1 by 3 meter, something like that. Got it? So the possible maximum value of given displacement is this. Noted? இதுவே மினிமம் வரணும்னா கண்டிஷன் என்ன இருந்திருக்கும் மிருதுலா? மினிமம்க்கு என்ன கண்டிஷன்? மினிமம்க்கு பாசிட்டிவ், மேக்ஸிமம்க்கு தான் நெகட்டிவ். ஓகே, எஸ் not necessarily sir, not necessarily. See, for example a body is, let's assume, a Cartesian coordinate system, something like this. Okay, so a body starts from -3 and it goes to -8 and it is oscillating between these two. Okay, so what is the displacement if you try to calculate? Come again sir? -5 it should be. What's the maximum displacement? -5. Right or wrong sir? So the maximum and minimum can be both on both sides, value can be both. Got it? But the derivative is different. புரியுதா? Okay, so don't take blindly that maxima na greater than 0, minima na less than 0 ன்னு blind எடுத்துக்க கூடாது. Maximum minimum value of any continuously changing function can be on both negative as well as in positive. And how to find the maximum and minimum values of a continuously changing function? What is the possible value? That's what we are trying to find. இது possible இருக்கு சார், இதுக்கான வேல்யூ இதுக்கு வந்து பாசிபிளா இருக்கு. சொல்லணும்னா நம்ம என்ன சொல்லலாம்? You can say, see for example, a car starts from here and goes towards south. What's the maximum displacement possible? Practically saying, what's the maximum displacement possible? Up to Kanyakumari it can go. Beyond that, it cannot go. Am I right? So, அப்போ இங்கிருந்து கன்னியாகுமரிக்கு என்ன டிஸ்டன்ஸ்னு போட்டிங்கன்னா, then you can easily calculate. Sir, maximum value is not possible. Am I right? That's all. All right. So, we will see 2 more questions from this topic, and from the next session, we will go to the chapter number 1. Okay? So, 2 more questions from this topic, then we will jump into chapter number 1. Our basic math is over. Fine? So, don't pester more about this basic math. As you go forward, you will learn to use these tricks. So at that time, we should not slow down. That's why I spent 8 complete sessions just to impart the significance of mathematics to you. Okay? ஏன்னா இது வரைக்கும் நீங்கள் படித்த கிராஃப்ஸ் எல்லாம் வேற, இப்போ நான் சொல்கிற கிராஃப் எல்லாம் வேற. I think you should realize that whatever that you have learned so far is very limited and you have plenty of new things to learn. So I want your children to develop new tricks and techniques. Okay? Fine, children. Carry on. Carry on, sir. Bye bye. Bye bye. Carry on, carry on. Bye.